Sierra Montes, and I'm going to be doing a demonstrative speech on how to take someone's pulse. I'll be demonstrating on the carotid artery, the brachial pulse, and then also the radial pulse, which is right in the wrist. The brachial is right at the end of the arm, and then the carotid is right at the neck, right below the ear. For this type of demonstration, if you are going to be performing this, you have the option of having a stethoscope. This is just for if you want to hear the pulse before you go ahead and feel for it. Sometimes it's easier to go ahead and hear for it rather than just go in and just feel. So if you want to, you can have the stethoscope, because I really like using it sometimes if someone has a weaker pulse. You're also going to need a timer, something that goes by seconds, because we're going to be holding the pulse for 60 seconds in this demonstration. You have the option of going 30 seconds and then just timesing that pulse by 2. And that would give you the same number that you would get counting out till 60. But I like to be very accurate when I'm taking someone's pulse, and so I'm going to be holding it for the full 60 seconds. So like I said, you will need these two things, and you'll also need a partner. So I have my fiance, who is also going to help me with this demonstration, and he's just going to sit down. Generally, you're going to have your person sit down. It's very relaxed. You need them at their regular pulse. You don't want them standing or doing anything motion-wise, doing too much motion before they sit, just because you do want their regular pulse. When you're taking the pulse, go ahead and just wrap the stethoscope around your neck, as so. Like I said, you can go ahead and hear for it, and we're going to be starting on the radial pulse, which is just right at the bend of the wrist for someone. And I'm going to hear for it first, so you're just going to go ahead and stick your stethoscope in your ears, and then take the stethoscope and then put it right beneath. The radial pulse is going to be running with the thumb, so you're going to be looking for that person's thumb, whichever arm works, whichever hand works, and follow the thumb all the way down to the bend of the wrist, and then that's where the radial pulse should be located. Like I said, hear for it first. Should be fairly easy, and you'll need complete silence. And Reese has a really good pulse, so I heard it right away. You're going to take the pulse, you're going to be wanting to use your 2 fingers, either your pointer finger or index finger and your middle finger, or you're going to be using your middle finger and then also the ring finger on your hand. You don't ever want to use your thumb ever to take someone's pulse, because your pulse in yourself runs through that thumb, just like I was saying. So you actually could be taking your own pulse rather than someone else's if you do use your thumb. So steer clear of doing that. So we're going to find it. 2 fingers. I like to use my index and my middle finger right beneath the thumb. Have Reese relax a little bit. And I found it right away. So once you do find the pulse, you're just going to hold your finger there and then hold for 60 seconds and count. Alright, so that was a full minute, and Reese had 67 beats per minute. Generally, that is a really good pulse. You want it to be somewhere in between 50 to 90 for someone to be considered healthy, like a regular pulse, regular blood flow through the body. So he's got a really good pulse. He's really calm right now. That's a very good sign. Generally, if someone is just sitting down and their pulse is higher than 90 beats per minute, that's really, really bad. Their heart is working way too hard to get blood to all of their body. And I would recommend that person to then go ahead and do a little bit of exercise, or just try and do some heart strengthening exercise or blood flow exercises from there. Next, we're going to be doing the brachial pulse, which is right at the bend of the arm. You're going to probably want to hear this one first, because this one is a little bit harder to locate, especially on people that don't have a strong pulse. I know for a fact Reese does not have a strong pulse in his brachial, because I've done this before. So I'm going to hear for it first. So I did find it. It's very, very light. So then once you do find that, you're going to want to do right at the bend of the arm, find their vein. It should be visual to see. And then just kind of press firmly on the bend of their arm. And then this one we're actually going to hold for 30 seconds. Alright, so he had 33 beats per minute, or per half minute. So you would then times that number by 2 and then get the number 66. So you would have 66 beats per minute for Reese, which is exactly what we got for the radial pulse. So that's really good. You want, if you're going to do all three, you want it to be the same for when you take it from this one to this one to this one. There might be a few discrepancies, like a little bit of a discrepancy between numbers, but not very much at all. The third is actually an artery, and you're going to be right behind the person actually. And then this one, you don't generally hear for it. It's very easy to feel. It's a very, very large artery that you can generally just feel very well. So you'll just press and feel. And then count for 30 seconds. So that time I counted 30 beats beats per half minute. So then once again you would just times that number by 2, and so then you would get 60. So overall, Reese's heart rate average, you would then add up all of those pulses and then divide that number by 3, and then that would be his average pulse for today. I would say that Reese's general pulse is 60. He is a very relaxed person right now. And with the pulse, you are able to tell so much. If a person is anxious, if a person is in pain, if they're comfortable, and the opposite of being in pain, which is relaxed. So you would feel Reese's pulse and feel that he is relaxed and comfortable and in a calm state. So that is how you take the pulse on the radial, brachial, and carotid artery. And once again, for this demonstration, you don't need a stethoscope, but you can have one just for good for hearing. And the timer. It's very essential to have a timer on your partner. Thank you.